In the heart of a forgotten village called Umudim, one man came to serve. But in just one mysterious night, every girl in the village got pregnant. Was it witchcraft? A curse? Or something far more powerful? This is a story your ancestors whispered under moonlight. The sun rose gently over the hills of Umudim, a quiet village hidden between tall palm trees and dancing streams. Birds sang sweet songs, goats bleated lazily, and smoke curled from clay kitchens. It was a peaceful place until he came. Emeka was tall, brown-skinned, and always smiling. He wore shiny shoes, tight white shirts, and a cap with the green-white-green of the NYSC, Nigeria's youth service uniform. The people of Umudim had never seen a young man like him. His voice was soft but deep. His laughter made even angry elders smile. The girls giggled when he passed. The boys wanted to walk like him. The elders nodded with pride. He is a real Lagos boy, Mama Ifeoma whispered, watching him carry a box of books into the school building. He must be wise, said Papa Ebuka, see how he speaks big English like a pastor. But Emeka was not just a youth corps member. No one knew what spirit followed him. No one knew what day the wind would change. And no one, not even Emeka himself, knew what secret lay in his blood. Because in just a few months, every girl in Umudim, young, old, married, single, fat, thin, short, tall, would whisper the same terrifying truth. I am pregnant. And Emeka is the father. The people of Umudim were kind and full of joy. They welcomed Emeka with food, dance, and songs. The village square was bright with color. Women wore wrappers of red, blue, and yellow. Drummers beat the talking drum. Children danced barefoot in the sand. Welcome, Emeka, the village chief, Papa Nwok said, raising his staff of power. Serve well, and Umudim will bless you. Emeka bowed. Thank you, sir. I am happy to serve your people. They gave him a small house behind the primary school, near the big mango tree. It was quiet, neat, and filled with the sweet smell of bush herbs. Each morning, Emeka taught the children how to read and write. He wore his white NYSC shirt and green trousers. When he spoke, the children listened. His English was smooth like palm oil. But there was something else. Something odd. Something not right. Wherever Emeka went, the wind blew stronger. Birds stopped singing. And dogs barked at night for no reason. Old Mama Nena, the village herbalist, called it Ndu Ifyuf, the life in the wind. She had seen such signs before, many seasons ago. Watch that boy closely, she whispered to her grandson, Obina. He walks like a man, but his shadow dances like a spirit. Obina laughed. Mama, he's just handsome. The girls like him. That's all. But Mama Nene shook her head. Handsome boys don't make the earth tremble when they pass. That week, strange dreams came to the girls of Umudim. Ijeoma, the baker's daughter, woke up sweating. I saw Emeka in my dream, she told her friend Kem. He walked through fire, yet his body did not burn. Nkem also dreamed. He gave me a fruit. I ate it. Then I felt something moving in my belly. Even Adiku, the chief's daughter, had a vision. She saw herself by the river, wearing white cloth. Emeka stood beside her, holding a baby with glowing eyes. They told no one at first. But more and more girls started whispering. By the seventh night, almost every girl in Umudim had seen Emeka in her sleep. And none of them could explain why. Absolutely. Mama Nene pounded herbs late into the night. Her hands were fast, but her heart was heavy. She threw red pepper and dry leaves into the fire and watched the smoke rise in circles. The wind has spoken, she muttered. A spirit has entered Umudim wearing a youth corps cap. She grabbed her goat horn and sprinkled white chalk around her hut. If the people will not listen, she said, the land will soon weep. One afternoon, While teaching at the school, a boy named Chisholm stared into Emeka's eyes. "Your eyes changed," he said. Emeka smiled. "How?" "They became yellow, like a lion." Emeka laughed. "You need rest, Chisholm." But when Emeka looked in the mirror that night, he saw something flash, something golden and wild. Only for a second. Adiku, the chief's daughter, went to fetch water. As she bent by the river, she heard her name. "Adiku." She looked around. No one. Then again. "Adiku, the seed is already in you." She dropped her calabash and ran home, her feet covered in mud, her heart beating like a drum. Ijeoma woke up vomiting. Her mother frowned. "You're pregnant." "Me?" "No." "How?" "I've never been with a man." But her stomach was growing. She cried and cried. Then she whispered, "Emeka." Her mother slapped her. "Don't ever say that again." By the next market day, 5 girls were pregnant. None had touched a man. Each one said the same thing: "I only saw him in my dreams." The elders called a meeting. The air in the village square was tense. "What kind of sickness is this?" Papa Noak shouted. "The girls are lying," cried one man. But old Mama Nena rose slowly. "They are not lying. The spirit of Emeka is not normal." The elders called Emeka. They sat under the Iroko tree. "Did you touch these girls?" Papa Noak asked. "No, sir." "I swear." "But they carry babies. And they name you." "I don't know how," Emeka said, shaking. Mama Nena looked into his eyes. "Do you dream, Emeka?" He nodded. "Yes. I see a woman in white, and a drum that beats itself." She closed her eyes. It has begun. At midnight, strange drum sounds came from the forest. But no one saw the drummer. The youth who chased the sound saw only footprints, and they were shaped like goat hoofs. More girls fell pregnant. 10. Then 20. Then 30. None had been touched. Some were only 13. Some were married. But they all had the same swollen belly. And the same name on their lips. Emeka. Chief Noak's own daughter, Adiku, began to show. He wept in his heart. "How can my house be part of this shame?" His wife said, "It's not shame. It's something bigger. Maybe spiritual." He looked outside. "Then we need a spiritual man." Chief Noak sent men to Yuzo, a distant village. There lived a blind seer named Dibia Ikema, who could speak to spirits and see what humans could not. They carried kola nut, palm oil, and a white cock as gifts. Dibia Ikema touched the white cock and laughed. "Huh! A spirit seed. A man born of 2 worlds. The fruit of a forbidden tree has entered Umudim." "What must we do?" they asked. She looked at them with blind eyes. "Tell the boy to stop drinking from the river. That river carries the soul of a forgotten god." Back in Umudim, Mama Nena went to the river at night. She poured palm oil on the water and chanted, "Show me." The water bubbled. Then a face appeared. It looked like Emeka, but with horns. She fell back in fear. In Lagos, Emeka had fallen sick before his service. Doctors said it was malaria. But his mother took him to a Babalawo, a native doctor, who gave him a charm and said, "Drink this. You will never fall again." She never told him the charm was from the river goddess of his father's people. Emeka slept and dreamed again. This time, the woman in white kissed him and said, "You belong to me now. You are my husband." When he woke up, the mirror cracked by itself. The elders met again. "What do we do?" one shouted. "Send him away," said another. But Mama Nena stood and said, "If we chase him, the curse may stay. We must cleanse the land and his spirit." They began a 7-day cleansing. No meat. No fire. No drum. Only herbs, prayers, and silence. The women pounded bitter leaf. The men sprinkled salt around the village. But the dreams didn't stop. Emeka sat alone by the river, weeping. I didn't ask for this, he cried. Why me? But the wind blew softly, and the river whispered back. Because you are chosen. And chosen ones never have peace. 9 moons passed quickly. Ijeoma, the baker's daughter, was the first to give birth. But what came out made the entire village freeze. The baby had bright golden eyes. The same color that once flashed in Emeka's. The baby didn't cry. Not once. It opened its mouth, but no sound came out. Old Mama Nena said, "This child is not of this earth." Even Ijeoma was afraid to hold it. One by one, the girls gave birth. Each child had the same golden eyes. Some even had tiny birthmarks shaped like leaves. And none of the children cried. Not one. One morning, Emeka was gone. His house was empty. His bag, his clothes, even his books, left behind. But there were no footprints. Just wet sand at his door. As if the river came to fetch him. That night, a loud cry echoed through the forest. Not human. Not animal. Something in between. Those who heard it covered their ears. Children had nosebleeds. Pregnant women fainted. Mama Nena went into a trance. For 3 days, she did not eat or speak. On the 4th day, she woke up screaming. He's not gone. He's under us. Beneath the land. Trapped by the goddess of the river. The river near Umudim had a forgotten name, Nuatiti. Long ago, it was worshipped as a goddess. She was said to fall in love with men, then bind their souls forever. Emeka was her latest husband. Dibia Kema revealed a secret: Nuatiti cannot give birth, but she can plant seeds in women through her chosen one. The villagers were stunned. You mean, these babies are hers? Yes, the seer said. And they are not done growing. The girls who gave birth began to act strange. They stopped speaking. They stopped eating. They started waking up at midnight to bathe in the river. Every night. Even during Harmattan. Men began fleeing the village. Fear was stronger than love. They said, "How can I live with a woman who speaks to water?" Even married women were no longer trusted. Adiku's child, only 3 weeks old, opened his mouth and spoke. I see the fire. I see the blood. I see Emeka. Then he smiled. And said no more. Crops died. The rain stopped. The ground cracked like dry skin. Mama Nena said the land knows it was tricked. And the land was angry. A tall man wearing red beads and leopard skin entered the village. He called himself Iroko. He said he was a hunter of spirits. And he had come for Emeka. Iroko walked into the river and came out dry. He whispered to a rock, and it rode by itself. He touched a goat, and it slept for 2 days. The villagers bowed. Help us, they cried. Iroko looked into the eyes of the golden babies. He frowned. These are not children. They are keys. Keys to what? The chief asked. To a prison under the river. Where the true horror sleeps. Iroko shared a tale. There was another Emeka, many years ago. He served in another village. He vanished too. The river goddess waits 20 seasons, then chooses again. It is a cycle. And this time, the cycle must break. A man arrived from Lagos. Old. Thin. Tired. I am his father, he said. I knew something followed us. He carried a tiny gourd and a broken drumstick. These were left by his mother when she died in childbirth. Iroko opened the gourd. Inside was water that shimmered like silver. Yuroko poured it on the ground. Smoke rose. A voice spoke from the earth. He is mine. You cannot take him. It was the goddess, Noatiti. Yuroko gathered the babies and their mothers in the village square. You must choose, he said. Let the river have him forever, or fight with spirit and fire. They were silent. Until Mama Nene stepped forward and said, We fight. They burned herbs, beat drums, and chanted old names. The babies began to glow. Their eyes turned brighter than the moon. The river began to rise. It came toward the village like a living snake. And from its center, Emeka rose. But this time, he was not alone. Emeka rose from the heart of the river. His skin shimmered like wet bronze. His eyes empty. He didn't blink. He didn't breathe. He was no longer fully human. Behind Emeka stood a woman made of water and light. She wore a crown of river lilies. Her hair flowed like waves. I am Noatiti, she said, her voice echoing in every ear. Give me what belongs to me. The ground shook beneath Umudim. Trees fell. Pots cracked. The golden-eyed babies floated into the air, one by one. The villagers screamed. The river wanted its children. Mama Nene poured red sand over her head. She chanted in a language older than the village. Then she drew a knife across her palm. Blood must answer blood, she cried. She touched Emeka's forehead, and for a moment, he blinked. Help me, he whispered. Then fell to the ground. The babies screamed in unison. And the river stopped rising. Noatiti growled, You dare challenge me. But her voice wavered. She was weakening. Yuroko raised his staff. He struck the ground 3 times. Each strike turned into thunder. He shouted, Return to your prison, spirit of longing and lies. But Noatiti laughed. I cannot return alone. Emeka's father stepped forward. He cried, his mother was not fully human. She was from the water. I begged her to stay on land, but she disappeared after birth. Now her son has come of age. The golden-eyed babies grew faster. At just 1 week, they walked. At 2 weeks, they ran. Now, they stood beside Noatiti, forming a circle. They are my soldiers, she said. They will open the gate below the village. Yuroko revealed a secret. Beneath Umudim was a spiritual gate, sealed for 1,000 years. It held the worst demons of land and sea. If opened, nothing would remain of Umudim. Only ash. Yuroko gave each villager a drum made from goat skin and redwood. These are the drums of silence, he said. Once we beat them together, no spirit can stay. But one beat too early could kill everyone. The golden-eyed children opened their mouths. And 1,000 river voices came out. They sang a song no one could understand. But it cracked the sky above them. Lightning struck the Iroko tree in the center of Umudim. The children rose higher. Their eyes glowed like the evening sun. Each pointed a finger at Emeka. He screamed. His body began to split, water from one side, blood from the other. Adiku, Ijeoma, Ngozi, and the other mothers rushed to their children. They begged. They cried. They fell to their knees. Please, come back. But the children did not move. Until one word changed everything. Mama. Each mother held her baby close. Their bodies trembled. Their eyes turned golden too. Now, the women were glowing, just like their children. Together, they formed a ring of fire and light. Yuroko gasped. The cycle is breaking. Yuroko remembered, the river goddess had one weakness. Love freely given. She could steal, trick, and charm, but she could not take what was willingly shared. And now, mothers were giving love to what she claimed was hers. The water began to retreat. Slowly, the babies stopped glowing. They began to cry, for the first time. Real baby cries. Nwatiti screamed, her voice shaking the hills. They are mine. Emeka stood on weak legs. He faced Nwatiti and said, "No. I am not yours anymore." He clapped his hands once, just once. And a hole opened beneath him. He smiled. And fell in, taking her with him. The ground closed. Like it had never been broken. The wind stopped. The birds returned. The river turned calm, silent. It was over. Or so they thought. All the babies fell asleep at once. Every mother laid hers down. Uroko said they will sleep for 7 days. When they wake, they will be no more children. But they will carry the memory of what they were. The crops began to grow again. The sun felt warmer. And the drums of Umudim beat a song of thanks. A new song. A song of survival. But in the far distance, near the quiet river, golden eyes washed. 7 days passed. The children woke up with bright smiles, but their golden eyes had faded. All but one. Little Obina, Adiku's son, still had eyes like the setting sun. At night, he sat by the river, speaking in whispers. To someone unseen. Adiku found strange marks on Obina's back. They looked like waves. But one mark glowed when the moon was full. Uroko examined it. This boy still carries the river in him. He is the key. And the warning. Old Papa Emeka returned with a box. Inside was a small, round mirror. He said, "This mirror once belonged to Emeka's mother. She left it for her son." But when Obina looked into the mirror, it turned black. The mirror spoke. Yes, it spoke. It showed Emeka in a world of shadows, his body trapped, but alive. He said, "Obina, son of light, you must finish what I could not." Then the mirror cracked. Obina could now hear the voices of water. Even in his sleep. He talked to animals. He walked through fire without pain. But he also cried more. He missed Emeka. He had never met him, but he missed him deeply. Umudim celebrated peace with a festival. Drums pounded. Meat roasted. Children danced. But that night, the moon turned red. And Obina vanished. Without a trace. Uroko dreamt of a stone gate beneath the earth. Obina stood before it, holding a golden staff. Behind him were 3 shadows, Nwatiti, Emeka, and a third spirit no one had seen before. It had 7 heads and no face. The third spirit, hidden for centuries, had been awakened by the mirror. Its name? Ekwensu. The god of deception. Even Nwatiti feared him. Now he whispered into Obina's ear, "Free me, and I will give you your father." Obina agreed. Not knowing what it would cost. He opened the hidden gate in his dream. In the real world, the winds howled again. The rivers shook. Umudim woke in terror. History was repeating. Adiku and the other mothers gathered again. They carried their staffs. Their children stood behind them. Uroko shouted, "The battle is not over. This time, we fight with memory." The mothers entered the spirit world through the mirror. They saw things no human was meant to see. Lost souls. Floating babies. And Emeka, still kneeling, still holding the gate shut. Adiku knelt before Emeka. "My son," she said. He looked at her and smiled. For the first time in many years, his body shimmered, not with water, but with light. He stood and faced Ekwensu. No more. Emeka, the mothers, and the children faced Ekwensu. Obina stood between them. His eyes glowed gold again. He was the bridge between light and dark. He shouted, "Enough. And the river boiled. To save everyone, someone had to stay behind and hold the gate shut forever. Obinna stepped forward. I was born of spirit and woman. I understand both. I will stay. Adiku cried, no. You're just a child. But it was too late. Obinna's golden light sealed the gate. Ekwensu screamed, trapped once again. The spirit world collapsed. Emeka held Adiku one last time. Then vanished with his son. The mirror shattered into dust. Peace returned. Years passed. The golden-eyed babies became leaders, healers, and builders. Each had a strange strength and wisdom beyond their years. They called themselves the children of the river. They never forgot Obinna. Before Yoroko died, he told the villagers, not every curse is evil. Some curses bring the strength we never knew we needed. He smiled and passed on. The river no longer whispered. It flowed gently, feeding farms and washing feet. But once a year, when the red moon rises, a golden butterfly dances above it. And the wind calls a name. Obinna. Adiku grew old. Her hair turned silver. But her eyes stayed sharp. People came from far places to hear her speak. And every story she told began with the day Emeka came to Umudim. Children sit under trees, wide-eyed. Their mothers tell them, be kind. Be careful what you call a curse. Love your child, born of man or mystery. And somewhere in the shadows of the forest, a golden-eyed boy still watches.